So I'm packing up my food this morning to head on out, and this is the cutest little thing. I got this yesterday at the post office, that hiker box. It's from this sweet little Mill Creek Baptist Church, and they put together these little care packages for hikers, and I figured it was probably a church who did it, but they were very thoughtful. They've got these great Band-Aids and electrolytes. They even have compressed towels. I mean, somebody knows hikers, because this is all stuff that not many people know about unless you're in the hiking world. Wet ones, candy, I mean, pretty darn good. But that was one reason I wanted to show you, or start this video. The other reason was to show you my bear bag. This is something new to me. I've had a bear bag that has served me well for many years, and it's an Ursack. But when it gets wet, it gets kind of heavy, and this one I wanted to try because it looked like it would not retain water as much, and it's called an Attotech. You can see that it's grizzly bear certified, so maybe it's stronger, who knows. But they're not cheap at all, either Attotech or these or the Ursacks. But this one is also a little bit more generous with space. My Ursack was a little bit smaller, more narrow, and so it was hard sometimes to get my food in it. But I'm liking it so far. It comes really stiff when you first get it, and it gets more pliable as time goes on. I'll show it to you when I get it all loaded up. But since people are always asking about my gear and my loadout, this is what I carry for food protection. I've not had any issues with bears, but I think it's because I'm way ahead of spring and the bubble and the crowd that typically tends to deal with more bears than the early people on the AT. So I felt comfortable using this versus hanging food, which to me is not always the best way to do things, because it's really hard to find a good tree to hang from appropriately. And I didn't want to carry a bear canister because they're too dang heavy. But I tie this to a tree is essentially how it works. Bears have been known to break into Ursacks in particular, or at least work on them hard and damage them, puncture them, and crush all the food. I know they've even gotten into some and been able to get the food out, but I think that's pretty rare. So I still think that these are an okay way to go, and that's controversial because of the few instances where bears have gotten into them. Keep coming across these rocks that are painted green. I have no idea why. A bunch of them though. Graffiti seems unlikely because it's just these green blobs. Anyway, chime in if you know. There's another one right up here. So way out in the distance on the tippy top of that mountain, you can see it. There's some kind of a weather station. I'm gonna pass it probably tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna go all the way there tonight. You can camp there. Apparently there's a meadow, but I think it's pretty exposed, and it's kind of breezy today, so I do not want to deal with that. It's gonna be cold tonight too, down below freezing probably, so I think I'm gonna stay at the shelter, and then I'll just see it bright and early tomorrow. But it's really cool to see that ridge line that I guess I'll be traversing at some point. Look at these striped maple leaves. They are so green. I love them in the spring. There's just this gorgeous lime green, and then in the fall they look like little ghosts because they turn kind of this translucent, this whitish yellow color. I just love them. They're called striped maple because their bark is kind of striped, especially when they're young. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. See those stripes? But boy, things are really greening up. It's just getting really pretty every day. I know that I'll miss these views because once the leaves come in, a lot of what I see every day will be hidden. I've been seeing so many yellow swallowtail butterflies on the trail, and they're so hard to catch on video. But here by this river, pretty easy. So pretty. It's one of my favorite things to do when I leave town is to camp out a fresh lunch for the first day. I bought the salmon, the smoked salmon yesterday at Kroger. And the bagel came from the hotel, the breakfast buffet. And the cream cheese, I got the avocado. I ate half the cucumber this morning. I love fresh cucumber. And an apple. also from the hotel. So I am gonna have a little feast right here by this gorgeous stream. It couldn't be a prettier day. It's not too hot to sit here in the sun. I got the little yellow swallowtails still circling around me. Man, this is why you hike the AT. Moments like this. In this quiet forest way down low, there's tons of this running cedar all over the place. I love running cedar. Looks like a Dr. Seuss character, little mop heads. But it's not a cedar at all. Just kind of looks cedar-ish. But the first form of flash photography was actually made from the spores of this plant. This shelter is enormous. It says it holds up to 20 people, and it's one of the biggest ones on the AT. That is not hard to believe. It's got like rooms, it's so big. You got like your little mud room. I like this over here. Somebody carved Dad, or wrote Dad in the cement. Huge deck. You got your living room and your loft, and a huge amount of space upstairs. So sitting here in this shelter, man, it's a hard place to leave. It's so nice. It's like a house. But I got 5 more miles to go, and I don't want to make them up tomorrow. So I'm going to sit here for a few more minutes and enjoy the cool. It's really not hot, but the sun's kind of warm. And move on. It's been a good day. I'm about 13 miles in, and coming out of towns are always hard. Heavy food carry. At least I didn't have to climb out of town. I was already up on the parkway after my slack pack. But I just read in the shelter log that Rubber Soles passed through. She's the one who's got the cute little boyfriend now. She wrote in the log that she was sick last night from both ends. So I'm going to make sure I sanitize real well as I leave here. But Untouchable's also not feeling great. When we got out of the car this morning, he said that he was freezing. And it was chilly, but it wasn't freezing. So he stopped to put on his hoodie or his fleece, and yeah, he said he wasn't feeling great, and he took a Benadryl. So I think his is more respiratory, but whatever it is, I don't want it. So I'm going to sleep in my tent like I always do and keep sanitizing the heck out of my hands and washing them as much as I can. But the Musca veterans seem to have disbanded. This is an interesting plot twist. Dylan is still, or Crumbs is still so far behind. He was at this Huckleberry Hostel, which I don't even know what mile marker it is, but pretty far. I don't think he's going to catch up anytime soon. He might catch up to me because he can hike bigger miles, but Nick, or Czar, is at Stanimals, a hostel tonight, waiting to pick up a package somewhere ahead on Friday. So he's kind of biding his time, taking a zero. And he said that John, who is Iceman, skipped the hostel and kind of indicated that he wanted to be on his own from here on. So I'm very thankful, though, that Untouchable and I have met. He's great, and I'm having a blast with him, and I want him to feel better so we can keep on at least meeting in camp when it works out. And regardless, I know I'll keep in touch with all these people. But I might be solo again for a bit. I just can't seem to catch Pocket Sport, Dr. P, and that crew. Tramley days may be over for me for now, but that's okay, because I'm good with being by myself, too. And I know I'll meet other people, but Untouchable and I, we're good. I think we'll still keep hiking together as long as he's not too sick. This is a striped maple. You can really see those stripes on its bark. Almost looks like snakeskin. Very pretty. About a mile into my 5-mile climb to the shelter. Grade's not terrible, but definitely slow going. So this is a bloodroot leaf. There's another one there. I'm assuming these have already flowered. There's a bunch of them all over this hillside. I love the way those little leaves look. They're so cute. Very unique. Look at that. Isn't that special? Looks like a little octopus of the forest here. About half a mile from the shelter. It's going to be chilly tonight. It's already getting cold. I am so curious if Untouchable beat me here. My guess is no. Oh, whoa, look at this. the whole observation, or the weather thing. That's really cool. I'm not going there. It's 4 more miles. I'm tired, and I'm scared it'll be windy.